The audience roared with excitement as Sylvester Stallone strode onto the Jimmy Kimmel Live stage, his signature strut and confident grin greeting cheers and applause. A spotlight followed him, flaring off his jacket's gold-threaded epaulettes. Jimmy emerged from behind the desk, a playful twinkle in his eye, arms outstretched as he welcomed the beloved action star. They exchanged a fist bump before sliding into seats, Stallone's posture relaxed but assertive. Jimmy launched into banter, opening with Stallone's upcoming film, praising the actor's legendary career. Stallone responded with humorous humility, joking about doing another Rocky sequel for the 5th or 6th time, prompting more laughter. Jimmy leaned in, complimenting Stallone's enduring physique and energy. But as he praised the actor's 70s charm, Jimmy diverted to a sensitive note. But don't you ever get tired of the same macho roles? Maybe it's time to show some vulnerability. Stallone's brow flickered. He smiled wryly and replied, "That's why I'm here too. Show I've got plenty." The conversation shifted smoothly to Stallone's history training montages. Diet regimens, punching meat carcasses for good luck. The audience chuckled, enraptured by Stallone's self-deprecating wit. Jimmy asked about Stallone's approach to age and defying Hollywood's youth standards. Stallone admitted to aches, but insisted age is honorably fought off. Jimmy praised that resolve, but then dropped a heavier question. "You've been open about using performance enhancers decades ago. Isn't it irresponsible to glamorize that now?" Silence descended. Stallone stiffened in his chair. Sweat glimmered on his brow. He bristled, narrowed his eyes, and gave a curt answer. "I did what I had to in that era. You think I'm an idiot?" "I knew the risks," Jimmy pressed. "But don't you worry, young fans will emulate you." Stallone leaned forward, voice low. "Whatever you do on your time is your decision. I'm not your babysitter." The banter that once radiated warmth now crackled with tension. Jimmy attempted to lighten the mood with a quip about Stallone's cameo in a popular animated movie. "At least we're not hearing about steroid clouds or protein shakes." 24/7. Stallone's jaw tightened. "Yeah, because nobody cares," he shot back. The audience noise dimmed as the confrontation sharpened. Jimmy clenched his jaw momentarily, then recovered with a teasing grin, asking Stallone about a rumored behind-the-scenes feud on a recent set with a co-star. "You got into it with underscore?" Jimmy prodded. Stallone's eyes flashed. He replied evenly, "Hollywood gossip? I don't pay rent to rumors." Jimmy kept pressing, repeating the rumor insistently. "But the story says you kicked her off." The set. Stallone rose to his feet, tension coiling. "I didn't kick her. I asked her to be professional. Is that a crime?" The audience gasped. Jimmy swallowed and raised a hand. "All right, I might have gone too far," but Stallone cut him off. Stallone pushed back from the desk, the studio lights glinting off his eyes. His voice, low but unwavering, echoed, "I'm done." He stood, gaze fixed on Jimmy. Everyone realized what was happening. Jimmy raised a hand, incredulous. "Rambo, come on, don't bolt over a joke." Stallone shook his head. "That's not a joke." The audience fell silent, tension gripping every frame. Kimmel, trying to salvage the moment, said, "Let's take a breath here." Stallone's face hardened. No more air. He turned and walked toward the stage exit. A beat later, he paused, looked back, and said, "You went too far tonight. I came to celebrate, not to be interrogated." With that, he walked out, the door clicking behind him. The studio erupted in whispers and shocked applause. Jimmy stared, frozen, his usual composure shaken. Cue to chaotic background music, an abrupt cut to commercial, leaving viewers bewildered and buzzing. Backstage, pandemonium ensued. Producers sprinted to catch Stallone in the wings, but he was already calm, jacket slung over his arm. A publicist followed close, murmuring apologies and offers to return. Stallone paused, hands on hips, then shook his head. "Tell them I left. Let them have the clip." Meanwhile, a floor manager glimpsed the tail end of the walkout on monitors and relayed to the control booth. The segment ended early, crowd still murmuring. Jimmy's face flushed as the camera cut. In the green room, crew exchanged shocked looks. One Pei whispered, "Did you see his face?" Another said, "Never seen Jimmy back down." Meanwhile, WWE quality backstage lighting and frantic camera operators struggled to capture any salvage. The unofficial incident tag #Rambo walk-off has begun its ascent on Twitter before Stallone left the building. Asterisk as Jimmy attempted to regroup on air. The show pivoted to an older pre-recorded segment from earlier that day, a blooper reel of children failing at spelling tests. The random choice underscored the abrupt shift. Jimmy looked dazed but took a deep breath and apologized to the live audience. "Well, folks, that was unexpected. We respect Mr. Stallone's decision and we'll see him next time." Audience gave sympathetic claps, though uncertainty lingered. After the show, Jimmy paced backstage, phone in hand, draft of apology already being composed. Producers debated releasing a statement. Should they apologize, defend the questions, or strike neutral? One producer insisted, "We went over the line." Another cautioned, "We asked normal questions." Meanwhile, Stallone was whisked into a waiting SUV, security tight, already on the road before the public could react. Asterisk by the time the show aired its tape-delayed version, social media was ablaze. Clips of Stallone's walkout reached millions. Fans were divided. Some praised his stand against lazy comedy disrespect, while others lambasted his short temper. Memes popped up Stallone, exiting the stage like a renegade cowboy, and #RespectRambo dominated trending charts. News outlets asked, was Stallone too sensitive, or did Kimmel cross the line? Sports blogs connected the walkout to Stallone's Rambo persona. Political pundits tweeted about masculinity and respect. Even mental health advocates weighed in, calling out the emotional toll of public belittling. Overnight, the incident transcended late-night TV drama. It became a cultural touchpoint. Where does comedy end and disrespect begin? Asterisk the following morning, Stallone posted a measured video from his home, thanking supporters and explaining his departure. His tone was calm, resolute. "I came to talk about my work, not to be ambushed over off-the-record rumors. I respect Jimmy. Kimmel live, but everyone has a threshold." Post garnered millions of views. Meanwhile, the View headlines weren't enough this time. Stallone commanded the conversation. Jimmy, in a separate Instagram story, offered a more conciliatory tone. "We meant no harm, but clearly went too far. My apologies to Sylvester and to fans who were here to enjoy the show." But the damage was done. Bookings lined up. Stallone was invited to more serious talk shows. His next film's profile shot up. Comedy podcasts debated the ethics of ambush interviews for days. Asterisk over the next week, late-night circuits stayed polarized. Some hosts poked fun, replaying the clip and joking about Stallone's walkout. Others lauded him, calling it a bold defense of self-respect. Talk show host reactions and YouTube breakdowns escalated the debate. Should interviewers pull punches or call out power? Stallone, meanwhile, did a sit-down with a prestigious news podcast, unpacking the incident and reflecting on his career-long fight to stand up for what he believes. He said, "I've played heroes who never back down. But this wasn't acting. I wasn't going to sit through disrespect." Paused, took a breath, and continued, "There's a line between bold and cruel." Crossed it. The podcast went viral, cementing Stallone's image as more than an action star. He was a man with principles. Asterisk. Ultimately, the walkout became a defining moment in both their careers. Stallone's film saw a bump in box office projections. Jimmy's show took a slight ratings dip, though Roseanne-style walkout week became a ratings gimmick. Stallone continued his press tour, but avoided Kimmel. Jimmy occasionally referenced the incident jokingly on air, but the tone was changed, more cautious, more respectful. And in Hollywood circles, Stallone's decision circulated as an example of reclaiming control over one's narrative, even at the risk of daytime backlash. The public memory of that night solidified into a lesson. Respect isn't old-fashioned, it's essential. Both men moved forward, but the walkout night remained a moment of tension, reflection, compromise, and clarity.